Are you traveling to Kenya? So more than likely you will land at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi. And you might be wondering if it's worth staying in the city for a night. Many travelers pass through Nairobi quickly, seeing it as just a transit point before heading off on safari or to other destinations. We thought it would be a great chance to rest after a long international flight and explore a bit of what Nairobi has to offer before heading to the Masai Mara for our safari. If you are planning the same adventure, don't underestimate the distance between these places. You'll be pretty tired after a long flight, guys. So it takes about 5 hours to get to the Masai Mara National Reserve, so keep that in mind. So guys, in this video I'll share what we did during our days in Nairobi. I'll also give you my honest opinion on whether it's worth staying there. We had a bit of a rest in the hotel and were ready to hit the city. We wanted to visit the Giraffe Centre and the baby elephant orphanage. These places are amazing, but keep in mind that they have specific and short opening hours, so plan accordingly. Since we landed around 10 a.m., we wanted to get a few hours of sleep at the hotel before exploring, but it ended up being too late to visit these places that day. Instead, we decided to leave them for our last day and just enjoy the city today. When we got into the car, we didn't have a clear plan in mind, but after a bit of a chat with the driver, we negotiated price for a little tour around Nairobi. The man took us around Nairobi, showing us both well-known landmarks and some lesser-known spots, where he advised us to close the window and stay quiet. Nairobi National Park is the only national park in the world located within a city. You can go on a game drive to see lions, rhinos, giraffes, zebras and more, either on a guided or self-drive safari. Since we were heading out on safari the next day, we decided to save that experience and instead visited the zoo located next to Nairobi National Park, where we saw rescued animals, some that might one day be returned to the wild, though we quickly realized that most would make it due to past injuries or trauma. Still, some animals entertain the public, treating shoes as if they were a tasty snack, pecking at them non-stop. It was a fantastic half a day spent in the city. We were tired by the end of it and appreciated a little swimming pool and sauna in the hotel and were ready for a sleep. The next day, early in the morning, fresh and relaxed, and after having breakfast, we headed to the Masai Mara for 7-day safari, including stops at Lake Nakuru and Lake Naivasha. Guys, if you are interested in my full 7-day Kenya safari, you can find a link in my description. However, we also made sure to spend one more night in Nairobi before our international flight back home, as Nairobi's traffic can be unpredictable, especially during rush hour. What looks like a short 18-kilometer trip can take hours. By staying that extra night, we avoided the stress of rushing to the airport, and on this day we made a plan to visit Sheldrick Elephant Orphanage, a Giraffe Centre and the most visited Carnivore Restaurant. The Sheldrick Wildlife Trust is a famous wildlife rescue and rehabilitation center in Kenya. It's best known for taking care of orphaned baby elephants, usually ones that lost their mothers to poaching or other dangers. It's located close to Kenya's capital, Nairobi, making it an easy spot for visitors. They rescue orphaned elephants from all over Kenya, bring them to the orphanage and take care of them until they're strong enough to go back to the wild. This process takes several years before these adorable creatures are ready and released into the wild. You can visit the orphanage and watch the baby elephants during their feeding and mud bathing time, which is so much fun and educational. Another place you can't miss is the Giraffe Centre in Kenya, where you can get up close to these majestic animals and feed them. You'll get to see how their long tongues are perfectly designed to reach for food in the wild. It's a small place with a platform where you can buy a container of food and hand feed the giraffes. It's fun and a unique experience. Before we headed to the airport, we stopped at a Carnivore Restaurant in Nairobi, one of the most popular spots to eat. It's a place where you can try different kinds of meat, including some exotic ones like crocodile, ostrich, and camel, along with regular options like beef, chicken, and pork. Waiters walk around with big skewers of roasted meat and carve it straight onto your plate. They'll keep bringing food as long as your table little flag is up. When you're full, just put the flag down. Here is my honest opinion. Spending time in Nairobi gave us more fulfilling experience of Kenya. It allowed us to relax before our safari, which made us enjoy it even more. It was also amazing to experience the daily life of people in the city. If you're planning a trip to Kenya, be sure to check out my full Masai Mara video. If you'd like to have the same experience we did, I'll soon share a link to my website where you'll find the simplified Kenya itinerary and the contact information for the driver who took care of us from start to finish. In the meantime, guys, I am working on more informative videos about Kenya's safari. I'd really appreciate if you could hit the button and subscribe to the channel, as it helps me share more useful videos with you. Hopefully one day you'll have the same amazing experience. I'll see you soon, my friends.